Welcome to MITA Unshackled, here interviewing some of the top thought leaders and industry members in Arizona today here in Phoenix at our studios. And we're pleased to be joined, first, my co-host, Dimitri Downing, with my co-host,
Destiny Blanco.
We're pleased to be joined by industry extraordinary and one of our close friends, Parisa.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Good. Yeah, we'd love to present people, and you're one of our favorite people we've traveled this cannabis industry journey together for many, many years. So let's get right into it. Who you are, where you came from, and what you've been doing, and what you're doing now, and what you're doing next. But I think we should start from the beginning because you're rooted in advocacy. Yes. And so if you want to start there, we can talk about why.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my journey began with my daughter Yazzie, who at the time was 14 years old and in need of some serious palliatives to help with her chronic pain, nausea, and anxiety and depression. My daughter was medically damaged from opioids, and it caused a permanent damage on her GI tract. She now is in what you call palliative care and requires a home health nurse and 24-hour care as she eats through a surgical tube in her stomach. So life is very different for us. But it led us to cannabis, which is been my passion and drive for the last 7 years, is just advocating for the plant, normalizing it, and the use for pediatric patients specifically.
And that's one of the things I've always found just awesome, when people can unify their passionate the advocacy that they're passionate behind with an economic activity like being involved in cannabis. How old is Yazzie now?
Yazzie's 21. It's really crazy to think I have a 21-year-old daughter.
I know.
So
you do look like you're like 19 yourself.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll come on the show anytime you like.
And day past 21.
And so cannabis has been working well for her?
Yeah, it's been a game changer. So much so that after my advocacy, I was able to really get involved in the business side of cannabis. And because her health has been stable, I've been able to pursue a career in cannabis professionally.
Right. And and we'll get into, sorry, go ahead.
That's awesome. That you make that work for you.
Yeah. We'll get into 420 Collections, which is, I know, is one of your big projects. You've done other projects as well, but we'll get into 420 Collections. Were you able to design some of the 420 Collections? I just have to know this right off the bat. Were you able to design some of the 420 Collections products based and targeted on Yazzie's needs? Did you?
I mean, we definitely utilize the 420 product line, and so all of our products have her in mind. I wanted to stand behind a company that I would want to use for my own family, and so I keep that in mind as we develop new product lines and as we are rolling out new SKUs all the time. It's like, is this something that I would give my daughter? And if it is, then I feel proud to put it on the shelves.
And that's huge. And that just struck. I get right to the point. And, there's a lot of people out there that are still trying to figure out cannabis, how it works, whether it's good, tested, regulations, and all this kind of stuff. Well, guess what? If you're using 420, it's been tested, regulated, tried and true from a mom giving it to her daughter. Yeah. So that's like
marijuana mama approved.
The marijuana mama.
That's right.
That kind of sums up everything. But let's go back to the beginning. So you started advocacy, you moved into the cannabis space, you were trying to bring the two together, and you started with Women Grow?
I started as an advocate and then got myself involved in the event scene since I had a lot of previous experience in marketing and event marketing, and partnered with Marvina really early on, Marvina Thomas, our CEO and founder of 420 Collections.
What year was that about?
Wow, that was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
So it's been quite a while ago. But we started it with Women Grow Phoenix, and we held monthly events for several years where we had hundreds of attendees, and it was just very rewarding to be able to place people in positions to not only meet one another, but also to provide job opportunities via our speed networking.
Yeah, for all the women in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. And so I really rode that wave for quite a few years in the industry, and then 2020 happened, and obviously events came to a halt. And luckily, my relationship with Marvina had developed over the years, and she asked me to sit as president of her company and help develop more SKUs and just take the brand to the next level. So in 2020, I took the position as president of 420 Collections. We did a full rebrand. We got ourselves back into the THC line and manufacturing edibles again. And now we can say we are a retail, manufacturing, and grow provider in New Mexico.
And almost like a fashion brand too.
Oh,
aren't you?
absolutely. Absolutely. We have our fashion line, which was debuted at Phoenix Fashion Week this last year.
So let's go back to Women's Grow. And, I want to talk about a little about that because I think you were like the 10th woman I met in this industry. Because 2012 I started and all the license holders were men for whatever reason. 2012, 2015, I was mostly, focused on the license holders. Then Women's Grow, actually, they did some really solid work bringing some women together to talk about the industry, to get more involved.
Yeah, it was a beautiful run. We're so grateful for that platform to be able to provide both Marvina and I an opportunity to meet the community and be able to do a lot of great work through that channel. And since then, been able to branch out and start my own women's organization, which is called Blunt Brunch.
Right. So when did you? Is Women's Grow still?
Thank you.
How active is Women's Grow? Because I don't see them much in Arizona now.
I don't know.
I don't think they're in Arizona right now. No.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll have to figure that out.
Kind of died down when Parisa moved away.
If anybody from Women's Grow would like to do a podcast with you, just give us a call. Okay, so you started something called.
I'm sure they're watching.
They'll
Gia, Shonda.
We'd love to work with them.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
absolutely. So you started something called Blunt Brunch while you're doing all this stuff with Marvina and 420 Collections, the collection line and the dispensary. You're doing Blunt Brunch as well.
Yes.
When did Blunt Brunch start?
Blunt Brunch came out of the need for us women to connect again coming out of COVID. We missed events and we decided to get together on an intimate kind of scale, just a few ladies, so we could have blunt, honest conversation about different challenges that we were going through at the time. And it quickly developed into a whole event series. And I think that just speaks to the magnitude of how many women out there need that support system and a place where they can feel that they have a tribe behind them.
Yeah, you guys.
That's so true. Me being so young, seeing women like you and currently working in the industry is just so inspiring. They can do it. I can do it too.
Absolutely, and you are doing it, Destiny. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
So, and
Other
you guys
people look
just
up to you too.
Thank you for saying that.
In November of 2022 last year, I do everything chronologically. That's like an old.
I see. I know you've got your whole notes over there.
Well,
He's like a little professor over there taking notes.
no, I do things. I'm an old prosecutor, and we lay things out chronologically. I have nothing to do with the prosecutor world anymore. I always remind people of that. I want to use this pen, but it's giving me a buzz. And it's really, really strong.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like,
high over here.
I drank a cup of coffee to sharpen myself up. That's my favorite drug.
Yeah.
And then now this Sharpie is like unsharpening my brain.
Oh my gosh! Bring the Sharpie down here. I got to take it out of his hands.
Somebody get me a
Let's all
ballpoint.
get a hit of that.
No, you take it. It's strong for some reason. I don't know what the hell they put in that thing.
We like natural things over here.
Yeah, no.
We'll keep
Get rid of that
this
Sharpie.
open for us.
And I know you guys have a massive Blunt Brunch event at MJ BizCon November 2022, which seems like an eternity ago, but just like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. Time flies in this industry, right? Dog years. So we have another big event coming up November 28th of 2023. So that'll be our annual event during
I want to open it. No, it's strong. Smell it. It's gonna give you a buzz. Something's wrong with it.
But yes, lots of great things on the horizon for both Blunt Brunch and 420, and I think just the general theme here is women empowerment, whether that comes from empowering women to make decisions for their health and their family members, or taking, a professional route and wanting to get involved professionally in this cannabis space. So whatever I seem to touch involves empowering women, mother of 2 girls. I think that's been my, real driving force.
But 420 Collections is a brand for the general public. I mean, Yazzie.
Men could take it.
Yazzie tested and approved. So we know that young women can use it safely.
Absolutely.
But it's also for men.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now Blunt Brunch, are men allowed, or how does that work there?
Well, the events and the conversations are
Yeah.
designed for women.
There were men there last time.
Yeah.
At the Vegas one.
Men are welcome, our allies, such as Dimitri and
I've been
other
to
men.
one.
Yeah, so men are
I hid in the
welcome.
corner.
in capacity of, for our ticketed events. Our intimate socials that are invite only are designed for women executives in the industry specifically. So, but there are opportunities for men to get involved, especially if their brands want to stand behind women. We're always accepting opportunities to partner with brands that are all for empowering women.
So people have want to do strategic partnerships with Blunt Brunch. They should reach out to you.
Absolutely.
All kinds of ancillary, auxiliary brands, etc.
Everyone.
Where are you guys? I know you have the big event coming up in next year, MJ BizCon 2023. That's like December. That was a long time now. But where can we find Blunt Brunch between now and then? Well,
we have monthly socials that are being hosted by our co-hosts. So we have Phoenix, Tucson, San Diego, Las Vegas, as well as New Mexico. So there's opportunities all around the Southwest if people want to get involved in our monthly events. And then we're hoping to expand even larger this year and go into some other states and areas.
So you said co-host. Does that mean like a company will sponsor it and then they are the host of the event?
Actually, women who are interested in hosting an event can apply on our website, and there's a little onboarding process. But basically, they co-host the event for Blunt Brunch as the founder or co-founder, Adelia and I. We just don't have bandwidth to be in that many states at the same time. So we have other women that sign up for a year to host these events on behalf of Blunt Brunch and represent Blunt Brunch.
That's pretty cool.
We should do something in MJ Unpacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a
in New
big
York,
conference
right?
in April, end of April.
Yep. 26th to the 28th, I believe. We just marked out our calendars for all the events
like,
coming
I got
up.
The dates secured.
Yeah, we have a great calendar list on the MITA website if you want to.
Oh, cool.
You can have it.
Awesome.
Anybody can go to it, but we can share it with you our eternal list if you want.
Upcoming year events for conferences.
That's awesome.
So,
we love partnering with MITA. So thank you for all of your support in women empowerment and being part of that. You guys always show up and support, and we're just really grateful for these type of strategic partnerships in the industry.
So what year was 420 Collections started?
Oh, wow. I don't want to give you the wrong date because I know it started even before I met Marvina. Mm-hmm. And it started with one bar of CBD soap. That's our big
I remember
story, claim to fame here. And now we have over 50 something SKUs. But it's been a beautiful journey to watch the brand evolve.
Yeah, and we'll this podcast is more about you, so people can get to know you and some of your different projects and what you've been involved in, because you are a cannabis journey woman, or is it journey man? I'm not too politically correct. So
journey person.
Journey person, yes. Yeah. Sorry, that political correctness always throws me off. See, it stopped my conversation, stopped my flow.
Gosh. Don't let it bother you that much. Woman, man, I don't. All good.
So this is more about you, and we'll get into 420 Collections, and we'd like to do a whole podcast with the Canterbury tales about the history, the origins, differentiators, more about what makes 420 Collections unique and what it's about, etc. But just real quickly, so you guys decided to go ahead and start dispensaries called 420 Collections as well.
We're crazy, right? So we just had to do everything.
Yeah.
Why not?
Had to touch it all, at least once.
So tell me about that project. How did that start?
Well, truthfully, the fact that Arizona is so challenging to work as a manufacturer in the space,
right?
That really drove us to look at other opportunities outside of Arizona. And of course, my home state, original home state of New Mexico, Las Cruces is my hometown. And just wanting to bring the great products that I believe in to my hometown and my community, and the opportunity arose for us to apply for a license. And, first we were just thinking manufacturers, but then we thought, well, why not? We'll apply for the whole thing. And, we're really blessed to say that we were able to get approved for not only our retail, manufacturing, grow, but also courier license.
Right.
So.
And people
Congratulations. Thank you.
People don't really understand how stifled brands are and innovation is based on the market structures that we're confronted by. I mean, it's nice that you guys are in New Mexico, so you'll be able to expand, and hopefully all of New Mexico will be using 420 Collections, probably before the Arizona consumers and patients have the opportunity to. Why? Because the market structure is wrong. And you have a great product, Yazi approved, Yazi tested, and it should be available to consumers and patients, but it's not. Why? Because of economics, market structure, laws, etc., which is something that we can get into in depth on another podcast.
Yeah, we need a whole nother hour to dive into that.
Yeah, or you can just call me. because I like talking about
And
that.
that'll also take an hour.
And some joints, please.
But we know you've got
For
a
us, right?
like everyone in this
I need to
industry,
stay
you're
high.
jumping from. Yeah, well, you can use that pen.
No, we don't like the green stuff.
I need the real stuff.
No, I'm telling you, it actually gave me like.
That's not the kind of high we're going for.
Anyways, I know you got to run. We like to keep these short, and you got to go to another meeting. Probably, hopefully, you're selling some product to some dispensary somewhere. So that will be really good. And then heading over to New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
So anything else? Just real quickly wrapping up. Anything else next on the horizon? I know you got a lot on your plate. You got building a brand, which is awesome. You're opening dispensaries, which is awesome. You're doing blunt punch, which is awesome. You're raising a daughter, which is awesome.
Two, actually.
Two.
Thank you.
I don't know your other kids. I'm sorry. But anything else you want to mention? And how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
I am on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can either find me under Parisa Rad or on Instagram. I am Da Marijuana Mama. And, I'm easy to reach. So
Yep, definitely. She's at every MITA event, and you'll be seeing her around the industry, I imagine, for decades and decades.
Oh, we can only hope.
She's a veteran.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
That was
Bye-bye.
another episode of MITA Unshackled.